Hello, this is your instructor, Deborah Bowles, and this is Assessment of Students. In this brief video, we're going to talk about creating questions. At the end of this video, you should be able to create a variety of questions to encourage thinking on different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. There are lots of different types of questions. Some people say an open-ended question, a closed-ended question, a factual question, an interpretive question. Well, we're going to go with these 6 different types. A factual question, a background question, evaluative, vocabulary, speculative, and interpretive. A factual question. A factual question has one answer, and the answer can be found in the text. A background question. A background question has more than one answer, but it cannot be answered from the text. You have to go somewhere else to find the answer to it. An evaluative question. An evaluative question can have multiple answers, and the answer is based on someone's opinion. And I'll give you examples of these in just a minute. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is just a word that they don't know. They need a definition. A speculative question. A speculative question can have lots of different answers, but it's basically a guess, and there's no evidence in the text to support it. And then an interpretive question. An interpretive question has more than one good answer, and there's evidence in the text that can support those answers. So looking at it this way, questions that are good for discussion are interpretive questions, because they give you more than one answer so that you have something to discuss, but it takes you back to text, and everybody can look at the same thing, but they can have a different inference when reading it. A factual question or a background question would not be good for discussion because there's only one answer to it. And evaluative and speculative as well. There may be more than one answer, but it takes everybody to their personal beliefs and their backgrounds, and that is a tricky thing to discuss without emotions getting involved. So an interpretive question keeps us focused on the text, and it keeps us discussing something that we can separate ourselves emotionally from a little bit more. So let's look at some examples. A factual question. Focusing on the story Jack and the Beanstalk. And if you're not familiar with Jack and the Beanstalk, I put a version of it in the module as well. But most people know the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. A factual question in Jack and the Beanstalk is, what animal did Jack and his mother have? There's only one answer to it, and you can find that answer in the text. A background question. When is the earliest writing of Jack and the Beanstalk? It's not something that is stated in Jack and the Beanstalk, but it is something you could research, you could Google, and you could find when was the earliest writing of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's a background question. There's one answer, but you have to go somewhere else to find it. An evaluative question. Did Jack do the right thing going up the beanstalk the second time? It's going to be based on your beliefs, your background, your idea of morality and right and wrong. So we're using some of the text, but we're using some of our information and background as well. A vocabulary question. What does it mean to be a widow? Focuses on a word they may not know. A speculative question. What happened to Jack's father? Speculative is another one that goes outside the realm of the text, remember, but there's a whole lot of guessing involved. We do not know what happened to Jack's father. All we know is that Jack's mother is a widow. So we know the father has died, but we don't know how. And then interpretive. Why does Jack go up the beanstalk the third time? So there's something in the text that would support different ideas, and it keeps us focused on the text. So how do you create questions? They come from things that you don't understand, or things that you think are important, or things that cause an emotion. There is a story in this file as well called Thank You Ma'am by Langston Hughes. You can read it or you can listen to it. And then I want you to create different types of questions on the ones that we just discussed, factual, interpretive, evaluative, speculative, based on the story Thank You Ma'am. So that is your next assignment, to create several questions using Thank You Ma'am, focusing on FIES, which is factual, interpretive, evaluative, and speculative. And if you have questions, you can always come to my office hours, post them on the discussion board, or send me an email. That's it for now, so take care.